People often ask me what the heck I do waking up at 4 a.m. I kind of think they imagine I just stare at a wall for hours until a more reasonable wake up time. But actually, I just work, usually. And 4 a.m. is what works for me. I'm a firm believer in finding or creating whatever morning routine works for you, even if everyone else thinks you're crazy for it. On that note, having a solid morning routine is what helps set the tone for the day, which is why it's important. Productive mornings tend to carry over into productive afternoons, and, well, for me, they fizzle out by evenings, but mornings and afternoons, I can deal with at least 2 times a day to be good at stuff. My morning routine is fairly simple. It's coffee, reading my Bible, reading the day's page from the Daily Stoic, quick journaling and reviewing the week and month to see what goals I need to be working on, and then writing, which is the big thing that takes up the majority of my time. And then I usually go for a morning walk with my doggo and then shower and breakfast. This is my day from 4 a.m. to 8 a.m. Monday through Saturday, and then Sunday I just have a break from writing, but I still get up at 4 because it is valuable to keep the same wake up time, and I find it a lot easier to wake up on Monday if you didn't sleep in Sunday, although I do occasionally. Just a heads up that my new novelette book is going to be available for pre-sale soon. If you're curious about Kale from my last video, you can sign up for my newsletter to be notified first when it's available. For a morning routine, one of the best things is to figure out what's most important to you and put that first. For me, it's my Bible reading and writing my books. So those two things are what I prioritize, even if, chaos of life comes up and I can't get to journaling or some other thing. I always try to work on my book a little bit and read whatever the day's requirement is in my Bible reading schedule. Writing my books is one of my large projects that is usually 2 to 3 hours. No, it's usually 2 hours out of the 4 in the morning. It's usually, let's see, Bible reading and journaling and reading Daily Stoic, and that making coffee is usually between 4 and 5, and then 5 to 7, 7:15-ish is writing, and 7:15 to 8, or between 7 and 8 is when I go for my walk and then, shower and have breakfast. So I think when you wake up doesn't matter as much as what you do with your mornings. I know there's always the early bird versus night owl, and I think this trend of, I wake up at 4 a.m., yada yada, maybe adds on to the idea that waking up early is best, and I don't think that's necessarily the case. I think whatever works for your body is what works for it. Some people are just night owls, and I don't think forcing yourself to be a morning person if you're naturally not is the best use of your time. I think it's an odd social emphasis that being a morning person means you're more put together or whatever. If I was guessing, I'd say it was the result of more people naturally shift towards being morning people as they age and have kids is a big part of it. But it's not the best use of time for anyone who is not naturally a morning person. And for me, I'm naturally a morning person. I do not do well past, 4 or 5 p.m. I'm completely useless. My brain just shuts off and we are donezo for the day. But on the other hand, I have always been one to get up early. When I was a teenager or a kid, I used to get up at 1 a.m. because I was so envious of night owls. I was like, I want to stay up late too. Even if I don't have anything to do, I want to stay up late. But it didn't work for me, so I was like, well, I'll get up early then. I will get up at 1 a.m. and get homework and stuff done because I didn't have anything else to do. That didn't last very long, but I tried again between waking up at like 3 to 3:45, and that was closer to doable, but it didn't stick until, much later when I needed to get up early for school, college, and then work. but getting up early has always been my natural inclination, so I just lean into it. But I think if mornings are not your natural inclination, there is no point in leaning in whole hog to it. So if you did want to, improve your morning routine or try to add to it, I'd recommend starting with what couple of things you already do that work for you. Whether that's, exercising or journaling, or if you have a goal, something that you want to add into your morning routine, like say writing, that's one thing that I started getting up earlier because I needed to have time to write and I didn't have time during the day. So I just naturally moved that into my morning routine, and it has stuck that way for the last 5 or 6 years. But if you have something that you want to add into your routine that's important, that you need to do every single day, the saying goes, eat a frog or eat a toad first thing in the morning. It doesn't have to be the hardest thing, but if it's something that you really want to do and make sure you do every day, putting it right at the beginning of your day is really helpful. So look at the things that you do or want to do that add benefit to your whole day, because as I said earlier, your morning sets the tone for how the rest of your day is going to go. So if you can create a good morning routine, even if it's like a couple steps that just puts you in a better mood for the rest of the day, that is a much better place to start than making an enemy out of your morning. So one of my characters says, you're going to have a morning every day of your life. There's no need to make an enemy out of it. Oh, of course, he was a smart-ass morning person, so I won't take too much of what he says seriously. It is now the time of the 7 o'clock walk, so off we go with our pup and pooch. Said pup and pooch. Such good, handsome doggo. Anyway, in conclusions, mornings aren't everyone's cup of tea, but developing a routine will make it infinitely more manageable. And it could even be fun, especially if you get work done that you've been putting off first thing in the morning, then you can ride on the coattails of that all the rest of the day. Not really, you still got other work to do, but it's a great feeling to start off on a really high note, getting what you wanted to do most that day completed before 9 a.m. So, like and subscribe if you so choose, or, don't. And that's all for me for now. Ciao, ciao.